going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thursday night football tonight, Cowboys, Lions. This is a huge game. This is massive. Pretty much the loser of tonight's game is going to be eliminated from the playoffs. So I think this game tonight presents us a wonderful opportunity from a betting perspective. Time to fire off the ladder challenge, day one, my $100 bet right here for you guys in today's video. We're going to use FanDuel Sportsbook. Gave us the best odds. I got the ticket ready for you guys. The last ladder challenge we did, of course, the Eagles alt spread plus 3.5 there on Black Friday against a fraudulent Bears team came up short. Somehow, some way. I still can't believe it. But we did take profit along the way, and we're going to do that again in this challenge. Again, our goal is to take $100 to $10,000, but we're going to take profit along the way, and I think this time, once we start getting up into those $1,000 wagers like we were at last time, we're going to take even more profit out along the way to make it definitely worth your guys' time. So, hey, right now, double check. Make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel and be sure to drop a like on the video. Both of those things are free. They're just buttons. They take a millisecond. I would appreciate it, guys. Let's jump into this. Let me get you another winner in today's video. Again, I'm using FanDuel for this one. Maybe we stick to FanDuel. The one time we used DraftKings, it came up short. Maybe we could just blame the loss on DraftKings. It wasn't me. It wasn't the players. It wasn't the Eagles. It was DraftKings, guys. Maybe it's a bad luck platform. I'm only kidding. But, let's swing over here. Let's just start off with this general analysis. The betting splits of this game. I mean, and honestly, Pickett had it a little different than here on Outlier. And I'm tempted to swing over there to Pickett to show you guys that. But the story's the same. And it's a lot more significant than this. Look, everybody's on the Cowboys. Every single person, not only betting in the public kind of perception, but all the media. Like if you watched ESPN today, if you're going to watch, Fox Sports 1 or something like that, anybody in the media, for the most part, is taking the Cowboys. They're firing on all cylinders. George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, the defense finally is present in Dallas. Guys, I think, and look, I'm totally aware of the injuries to the Lions. And if the Lions were healthy and we had this exact same situation, not only would I bet the Lions as a straight wager, I would max bet it. I would absolutely go nuclear on the Lions. The injuries still make this a little bit tricky, but we have a massive public underdog. Absolutely massive. The fact that this spread is still at a field goal, and they're even giving you plus money on Dallas +3. The public's all over it. I think I can go ahead and just stop the conversation right there. You kind of get what I'm pointing at. I think it's a Lions spot. But I just wanted to show you that. We'll pop over to FanDuel and start going at this ticket. By the way, the same, even maybe worse than all the people on Dallas, is the over, which is now in the mid-50s. The mid-50s. You could make a case for the under. I'm going to go ahead and explain why in today's video. But let's click on the game. Let's get started. Let's start building this ticket. I want to bring it up on my phone. I just submitted this myself. Like you guys see in all my videos, whether it's my premium bets or here doing these ladder challenges for free for everybody. You guys see my bet slips. You know I have skin in the game. Of course, I lock in all the bets myself. So let's just get started, man. Let's just get this out of the way. Popular section, alternative spread. You guys already know what we're doing. You already know what's coming here. Alt spread. We're going to Detroit. We're going to fade the public here. I like Detroit. I think they're going to find a way to win the game. But we need a little extra points. We're taking 7.5. Now, I went back and forth a bunch of times. I thought about going 3.5, 4.5, 3.5, 4.5. I ended up at 7.5 because the other legs of today's wager that I found that I really, really like allow us to take a little bit more meat on the bone here with the Lions. Again, I'm very confident the Lions win the game. I love being against the public on a standalone primetime Thursday night game. I think it's a good spot for the books to make a bunch of money. I would feel confident with the Lions +3.5 or +4.5 as a little safety net, but I'm going to take 7.5. Maybe another injury happens. Maybe Gibbs on the first play of the game breaks his ankle, Maybe Jared Goff gets hurt. Like if something crazy like that happens, obviously we're going to want a full touchdown and we're probably still going to get screwed. Look, -700. I think it's tremendous value for a team that I think is going to win. We have a full touchdown. an entire touchdown. If Detroit comes up short in this game, the fact that their season is on the line, if they're going to lose, if they're going to come up short, their effort and their fight in a game like this is going to keep them within a score. And I considered taking Dallas on an alternative spread too, because Dallas is the underdog. So we could probably, for minus 700 odds, we could probably have gotten 10 or 11 points with Dallas. I can't trust Dak on the road. As good as the Cowboys look, their stock is at an all-time high. The Lions are kind of at a super low point. I'm not willing to buy high on the wrong side of things. So Detroit plus 7.5, that is a green check mark. I mean, cross our fingers for no more injuries, no more damage to this Lions team. That's a green check mark. What else we got? What else we got here? Okay, let's start to get into some receiving yards, which I'm a little bit hesitant about just because of my kind of predicted game script. I think the Lions, if someone on that coaching staff has any type of common sense, if they're going to get the job done, then how do you do it? Because you don't want Dallas's offense on the field. Okay, so maybe they actually slow down. Maybe they run the ball more. Maybe they dominate time of possession so their weak defense doesn't have to deal with this high-flying Dallas offense. That is what I think. That is my prediction. I think Detroit's going to run the ball a lot. So receiving props, I would probably recommend going with Dallas on those for the most part. But it doesn't look like Amon-Ra is going to go. I'm recording today's video right around noon Eastern time. I want to get this video out to you guys, so I'm not even going to wait until the final injury reports come out. It's like game time decision type stuff, so I'm not going to wait until the buzzer and only have like a couple people be able to see this video. I don't think he's playing. I don't think he's playing. So at the end of the day, even though I think the game script is going to be a little bit more of trying to run the ball and dominate time of possession in a game like this for the Lions, at the end of the day, they just only have so many pieces out there. So the few pieces that are actually out there, they're going to get a lot of targets. So we're going to go with some alternative numbers. I want to show you some receptions here. CD sitting at 6.5, juiced under. Interesting there. Williams, I know he's going to be super popular tonight. I can't get behind that, but we see Gibbs. His current receptions are set to 4.5, and it is wildly, I mean, heavily juiced to the over. And I agree with it. I mean, he's a tremendous weapon. They got to use him out of the backfield. So Gibbs on receptions, Gibbs on receiving yards. He's probably their best. He is their best weapon on the field. So let's go ahead and take advantage of it. I was trying to scroll down and find him here. So we're going to go with some alternative receiving yards and receptions for Jahmyr Gibbs in this game. We're going to take him to get us 20 yards. Again, his yards are set to the mid to upper 30s. I think he goes over that. We see how special he is when he gets the ball in space. He's going to get fed the ball through the air. They're just going to be dumping it off to him, using him in creative ways. Jahmyr Gibbs to get us 20 receiving yards. And we're going to correlate that with some alternative receptions as well. We're going to take him just to get us 3 of them. Again, it's at 4.5, juiced heavily to the over. The books are telling us he's going to get 5+. They have to use him. They have to use him. Laporta, Amon-Ra. Even if Amon-Ra somehow, some way came into this game time decision and played, he's not healthy. They got to use Gibbs. Williams is going to get doubled. You know, he's their main guy out there. So I'd be looking at kind of the lesser popular players on the Lions if you want receiving yards. I wouldn't be touching Williams despite them almost having to use him. I like Gibbs here. He's a creative weapon out of the backfield. Catch us 3 times. 3 times for 20 yards. That's coming home. So I really, really like that. I think that has tremendous value. We're already down to minus 215. And then I want to go back up here. We look at CD. He said it in the 80s. We know CD's so popular. And I kind of like the fact that now George Pickens is really, really rising on this team and really, really rising in the public's eye. Because now he's starting to get enough attention to where it's not like CD's always just going to get hammered with the safety over the top every single time. George Pickens has been effective enough now and done enough damage to where, okay, maybe CD's not like the super, super dominant clear number one receiver on the team. He's obviously still the best receiver on the team, but I'm just talking in terms of attention he's getting from the defense. So I actually kind of used to be hesitant about Lamb's props before. Now I kind of like him because I think that some of the attention is going to start going back to Pickens here. So I like CeeDee Lamb tonight. Again, this is the juiciest part of the ticket just because it's CeeDee Lamb and he's so popular. I didn't want to get too aggressive here. And again, I like the Lions in this game. I said the game script, I believe, is the Lions to rush, the Lions to have time of possession. So I don't know how much offensive time the Cowboys are going to get, but if the Cowboys are playing from behind, they're going to have to pass. So I like CD to at least get some work done here. So we're going to go with some alternative numbers here. Let me just find him. We're going to go with just 40. Just 40, less than half of his total. Again, you could probably put in 50 plus, minus 1,000 to minus 500 based on value to just throw in, oh, it's only 10 more yards for a way different price. It would be a no-brainer to do that, right? I don't know, man. That 40-50 range can be sketchy at times. I'm super confident with 40. It's minus 1,000. I'm throwing it in. And I wasn't even at one point, I was going to consider not even putting Lamb in this parlay. But we're going to come in really, really light with him. Some numbers that he's for sure going to get us. Again, the two juiciest lines of the entire ticket. I just wanted to throw it in to boost our price a little bit. CeeDee Lamb just to catch 4 passes and get us 40 yards. We're talking about half or less than half of probably what he's expected to do tonight. So I like the 4 for 40 there with CD. You could leave that out if you want. Again, it's pretty juicy, but it does boost our ticket. And then let me just double check here. So we got that. Okay, so let's go over to rushing. And this one I had a little bit of back and forth on as well. We can see Gibbs up there at almost 80. We can see Montgomery coming in near 40. We can see the rush attempts. I mean, way, way up here. And that's actually a good number. I've seen 17.5 on other books. So if you like Gibbs rushing attempts over 15.5, I would use FanDuel for sure. I do think there's potential for Montgomery to have a big game too. I know everybody's head over heels for Gibbs, but if it's going to be a game where they're really going to grind the rock on the ground, Gibbs can only play so many snaps. So I would look at Montgomery as well. But just the fact that there are those occasional games where Monty just doesn't get it done. We see, he'll have 6 rushes for 18 yards or 4 rushes for 13 yards. There's occasionally games like that. And only because of that, I just couldn't stomach it. I said, if I'm going to lose tonight's bet, if this bet isn't going to come through, I'm not going to lose on something where I'm going to look back and be like, why did I throw that in? So I love Montgomery tonight. I was going to put him in at 20 plus yards on the ground. I think it's tremendous value. I think he's due for a big game. I could see 50 plus, maybe do a ladder with Montgomery tonight. But just the fact that he has a couple outlier games in his performances, I'm just not willing to lose on that. So I do really like it. It just didn't make the ticket. We're going to go with Gibbs. We know he's going to get the workload. And yeah, I'm going with 50 yards. I'm going aggressive here. Jahmyr Gibbs to get us 50 on the ground. We see his talent. He could get 50 yards in a single breakout run. We see his attempts up there in the mid to upper teens. Even if he only averages 4 or 5 yards a carry, he's going to get there. He's projected to probably be in the 80s. He could have well over 100 in this game, especially if they have the lead and they're just trying to grind out the clock late. Jahmyr Gibbs to get us 50 yards. And honestly, if Jahmyr Gibbs doesn't have 50 yards on the ground in this game, then I don't think our Lions plus 7.5 is going to come through. If Jahmyr Gibbs does not get 50 yards rushing, then that would really concern me of what the offensive production was for Detroit. And then I don't think the Detroit plus 7.5 would even get there. So I think these are kind of correlated. And that's the bulk of our ticket right there. We have one more leg to get into. I just want to tell you one other thing I was considering was going with an alternative under in this game. First of all, primetime unders, but the public being all over the over. It's up to the mid 50s. I was thinking about throwing in an all under 68.5, 37-31, crazy game like that still goes under. 34-33, a 1-point crazy game still goes under. 40 to 23 type crazy lopsided game. Maybe Dallas is the real deal under. So Under 68.5, I was really considering putting in, but I just can't do it. With these two teams, I don't want it to go to overtime and maybe one last touchdown or 10 points in overtime screws us. I'm not dealing with it. So staying away from the total. We got one last thing to put in here, guys, to finish out this ticket. Before we do that, just a friendly reminder of my premium. I'm off a losing week. I'm still up dozens of units in football season. So I think that speaks volumes. I'm off a really, really bad week, like over 20 units down the drain. I'm still up over 20 units. I've had a fantastic football season. It's going to continue. So you can see the bounce back numbers on the screen. The last time combined college football and NFL, when I was off a losing week, I went 9-1-1, up almost 20 units. So I have a max play coming out as well, a 10-unit absolute max play. One of the biggest bets of the entire year I have this week in the NFL. So get on premium, guys. It's an absolute no-brainer this week. Again, links in the description for that. But let's finish this thing out, man. Let's finish this thing out with some college football. That's right. This ticket's going to carry over to Friday. This North Texas game, they're up to 2.5. We've seen tremendous line movement. It's hard not to like North Texas here. It's really, really hard not to like North Texas here. I think it speaks volumes that they're at Tulane and they're laying points. They're the better team, the better offense. A lot of incentive here. This is going to be a pretty close game, regardless, back and forth type game. So I love North Texas in this game. I think the line speaks volumes. We're just going to throw in an alt spread just to boost our ticket even more because I think it's free. I think it's free. I think the value on this is insane. I thought this would be more like minus 2,000. We're going to throw in North Texas catching 11.5. 11.5. I absolutely think they're going to win the game outright. 11.5 with North Texas. Worst case scenario, they get their heart broken by a field goal or something like that. Plus 139. I'll put my bet slip on the screen. Is that what I got? I got plus 137, actually. So you're welcome. It's a little bit of a better payout now. But hey, that is day number 1 for the ladder challenge. You guys can let me know in the comment section what you think about today and our wager. And yeah, join premium, man. It's going to be a massive week. See you guys in the next video.